Shortstop for Dartmouth, the center fielder, number 4, Chris Head.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another game here for the Nova Scotia Senior Baseball League. We're in Sydney tonight at Susan McEachran Memorial Ballfield in Sydney, Nova Scotia. First game from Cape Breton. Looking forward to it. Top two teams in the league. First place on the line tonight. Cole O'Connor throwing for the Sydney Sooners. Chris Head leading off as usual for the Dartmouth Moosehead Dry. Number 4 playing center field. Cole gets a heater by Chris Head. Head chops, one going to be a tough play. Shepard at third, Tobin at short, makes the throw across the diamond. Brewer gets the ball to keep Head from running to second base. But he'll be safe with an infield hit.
Catcher number 11, Matt Dudelay.
Matt Dudelay steps in the box now. Chris Head at first base. Dudelay, the utility man, playing catcher again this evening. With Colton Heffley out of town. Dudelay shows bunt, first pitch, fastball to the outside half of the plate, goes for a strike. Jason Shepard at third is playing baseline. Ready to see if Dudelay will move Chris Head over. Dudelay watches another one on the outer half. Cole O'Connor with 2 strikes on him. Head leaves, he jumps. Ferguson to second. Ball hops. Walker gets a glove on that, but Chris Head slides in safe. Walker O'Connor, that is, playing second base tonight for the Sooners. Dudelay fouls one back. My first look at Cole O'Connor on the mound for the year. Filling the zone to this point. Dudelay having to swing at anything close after going down 2 strikes early. Sean Ferguson sets up outside again. This one low. Closer to the plate than the 2 strikes called on him early in the at-bat. Chris Head with a conservative lead at second. Dudelay chops one now. Cole picks it up off the mound. He makes the play to first, and Chris Head will be at second with at third, after that stolen bag with 1 out.
Shortstop number 5, Chris Thibodeau.
In steps the power threat of Chris Thibodeau, playing shortstop for the Dartmouth Moosehead Dry. Now, I usually praise the Nova Scotia Senior Baseball League early in these ball games, and then I mention how many home runs we see. And it's been on cue to this point. Thibodeau's hit a home run in each game I've had the opportunity to web stream. So we'll see what number 5 can come up with here against Cole O'Connor. O'Connor just giving up 2 hard choppers to this point. Here's another chopper to short. Tobin goes home. Tagged out at home as Tobin gets Chris Head. Made a great decision to go home. He charged the ball. Chopped down that run here early in this ball game.
Number 27, Anthony McKinley.
So now 2 outs. Runner at first. Great play there by Mike Tobin to chop down Chris Head at home. Anthony McKinley in now to face Cole O'Connor. Chris Thibodeau on first base with that fielder's choice. Fastball up and away. Thibodeau, conservative lead at first. He takes off. Opposite field shot going to drop in front of the right fielder. Thibodeau's safe at third, and McKinley's at first with a base hit. Dartmouth Dry making good contact to this point.
Designated hitter number 41, Dan Camo.
So runners on the corner. Designated hitter Dan Camo steps in for the Dartmouth Moosehead Dry.
Correction, second baseman, Dan Camo.
Dan tells Michael Vickers, and Michael Vickers, the home plate umpire, turns around and lets us know that Dan will be playing second base tonight. His brother Ted will be the DH. Fouled back for the first pitch. Cole gets his sign. He fires home. This one, great pitch on the outside half. Camo watches that one. McKinley at first. Chris Thibodeau at third. And Dan Camo looking to make the difference here early in this ball game. Top of one. Chopper, going to be a tough play for Mike Tobin. He makes the throw on the run look easy and gets Dan Camo at first base. The Dartmouth Dry with plenty of threats on the base, but Sydney Sooners defense record a clean inning for Cole O'Connor. We'll be back with the bottom of the first just after this. Back now for the bottom of the first. Mike Tobin steps in, leading off for the Sydney Sooners. Made a couple great defensive plays in the top half. Looking to get this ball game started off with some good speed on the base paths. Put a ball in play. It's the veteran, number 45, Jeff Reeves, on the mound tonight for the Dartmouth Moosehead Dry. Big weekend series here in Sydney. First place on the line. Sydney Sooners currently in first place, but Dartmouth not far behind. Reeves shakes off Dudelay. Dudelay sets up on the outside. Little miscommunication between pitcher and catcher. Tobin, the one to call timeout. After a bit of a delay between Reeves and Dudelay. This one fouled down the right field line. Beautiful ballpark here in Sydney. Turf infield. The one window in the press box, little tough. But an easy improvement for next year as they host Nationals here at this ballpark. Reeves sends an off-speed pitch to the outer half. No bite from Tobin. Goes for a ball. Dudelay sets up on the outer half again. This is going to send Tobin to first base.
Center fielder,
The free pass walk.
Jeff Chisholm.
Center fielder now for the Sydney Sooners, who's played very well this year for the Sooners in center field. Great year with the stick in his hand as well. Speed at first base and Mike Tobin, the shortstop. See how Dudelay and Reeves attack Chisholm here. First attempt to first base. Tobin slides in safe. Quick move from Reeves. But Tobin and Reeves have seen each other more than enough times. Huge lead at first by Tobin, but the pickoff has no success again. Tobin gets in there. Huge lead from Tobin again. Big jump at first base, but Tobin sticks around to stay on the mind of Reeves. That pitch was so far outside, I wonder if they were calling a pitch out there. Dudelay, the usual second baseman. He puts that throw on the money in warm-up. This one gets away from the first baseman, Jack Fader, and Tobin's going to round second base. As that pickoff attempt got away. Tobin safe at second. With a great contact hitter at the plate in Jeff Chisholm. Hard shot. Center field. Chris Head comes up with it. Tobin goes back to tag. Gets the throw to third base as he wanted. It was away from third, but that one not far enough into the outfield for Tobin to get a realistic jump to third base. And that'll be the first out of this bottom half of the first. Stepping in now, an excellent ball player. I could say that for all 9 on each team, obviously, but Walker O'Connor has proven it on these webcasts. Pitched 2 absolute gems to this point in the season for the webcasts. And he can play the field as well. He's got a great bat. Dan Camo holding Tobin close to the bag. Tobin with a walking lead. He's going to score. Head's going to have to come up and throw. Hard throw home, cut off by Jack Fader. And that base hit up the middle by Walker O'Connor gives the Sydney Sooners a 1-0 lead in the bottom of the first.
third baseman, number 32, Jordan Shepard.
Just the way that ball was rolling to center field, it was going to be a tough play for Chris Head out there to get that throw home. Jason Shepard sees that Anthony McKinley was playing a little bit deep over there at third base, and he was going to do a drag bunt. McKinley now playing at the edge of the, what I'm going to call grass infield, but it is turf. The edge of the green, let's say. One out, runner at first is Walker O'Connor, and Jason Shepard, the great speed and power hitter. He's playing third base tonight, but I know he plays outfield as well. Reeves and Dudelay come to a decision. Walker O'Connor had plans to steal second base, but that foul down the left field line keeps him at first. Really tricky press box, so keep an eye on everything here. Conservative lead at first. Shepard watches this one come in. He fouls it. Too close to watch go by. Good crowd here in Sydney as the top two teams take each other on here on this Friday night. This pitch from Reeves blocked by Matt Dudelay behind the plate. Keeps Walker O'Connor at first base. Reeves finds the outside corner for strike three on Jason Shepard. 2 down now in this bottom of the first.
First baseman, number 29, Justin Brewer.
As the first baseman, number 29, Justin Brewer, steps to the plate. Walker O'Connor at first base. Dudelay sets up on the outer half again. Staying away from the hands of these Sydney Sooners hitters. Reeves goes home. Looked like an off speed. Brewer just under that one. It fouls straight back towards the press box here. Dudelay on the outer half. Reeves steps off to keep Walker O'Connor close at first. Lets him know he's not forgotten. O'Connor with another half step on his usual lead. Trying to draw a throw to first base, but Reeves goes home. Just outside, 2-2 count. To Justin Brewer, the first baseman for the Sydney Sooners. Reeves goes inside this time, 2 inside, and he gets the backside of Justin Brewer. 2 on, 2 out. For Andrew Brewer, the left fielder, number 19.
Number 19, Andrew Brewer.
Duel sets up on the outer half. Big block. Gets away from him. Walker O'Connor at third. Throw to third is just late as O'Connor and Brewer, Justin Brewer, the first baseman, are at second and third now for Andrew Brewer. Reeves going from the full windup now with no pressure on the bags. This one gets by Brewer. Fastball. Hard and in. Couldn't get the bat around. Brewer pulls it to the right side. Jack Fader comes up with it. Makes the toss to Reeves at first base for the third out of the bottom half of the first. Sydney Sooners score one. We'll be back with the top half of the second in just a minute.
Hitter, number 34, Ted Camo.
Ted Camo, number 34. DHing tonight for the Dartmouth Moosehead Dry. Steps in to face Cole O'Connor. This one up and away for ball one. Cole O'Connor deals quickly. Camo steps out. Regroups. 1-1. Deals quick. Finds that outside corner for strike two. Ted stays in the box knowing anything close now he's got to spray to the other side or pull one down the line. Pitch from O'Connor. A changeup goes foul. Weak contact there by Camo. Two hits in the first inning for the Dartmouth Moosehead Dry were both on the ground. And Cole O'Connor got all three outs in that top half of the first with grounders as well. This one in the dirt. Sean Ferguson does a great job. Keep his hands on that one. Up in the zone. Out of the zone, I should say. And Ted Camo will walk to first base to lead off the bottom half, top half of the second inning. Left fielder, Matt Harding. We're number 33 for the Dartmouth Moosehead Dry. Steps in to face Cole O'Connor. O'Connor deals a strike to Harding. Ted Camo at first base after taking a walk to lead off the top half. Cole O'Connor way up now on Matt Harding. 2 strikes. Chopper. Going to be a tough play for Mike Tobin. Tobin on the run. Makes a great effort, and Brewer had to come off the bag, and he tried to make a tag as Harding was going by, but Harding will be safe. And the Dartmouth Dry will have runners on second and first for number 10, Robert Fleming, playing right field tonight. Last Thursday, Robert went yard against the Kentville Wildcats before that game got rained out. Fleming shows bunt. Going to move these runners along. Great bunt right back to Cole O'Connor. They get the lead man, Camo at third base. Camo questions it as Shepard went for the tag. Camo felt his foot was clearly on the bag before the tag landed, but umpire disagrees, and that's the first out of the top half of the second.
Number 22, Jack Fader, Russian first baseman.
First baseman now, Jack Fader. He fouls one off down the left field line. Matt Harding at second, and Robert Fleming at first after the fielder's choice. Jack Fader watches this one. Both pitchers pounding that outside. Strike. Fader swings and misses. He's going to go down with a strike.
Center fielder number 4, Chris Head.
2 outs now. Center fielder Chris Head steps in. He landed at first with a hard chopper to Mike Tobin. But his speed got him at first base with a base hit. This fastball up in the zone. Runners on second and first. Chris Head, the great leadoff for the Dartmouth Dry, sees a pitch, rips one down third base. Jason Shepard has a tough time hanging on to it, but he makes the play at third as he scrambles and tags the bag before Matt Harding gets in there. And that'll do it. Another clean inning for Cole O'Connor. Not much hard hit. We'll be back with the bottom half of the second in a minute. The designated hitter for the Sydney Sooners steps to the plate, and Danny McKillop, wearing number 45. He's in there to face Jeff Reeves. Reeves gets up with the first pitch, strike. Inside, outside, the idea there for Reeves and Dudelay, but this one just too far outside, 1-1. Low for ball 2, 2-1. 2-2 now to Danny McKillop. Changeup gets McKillop. He was way ahead of that one.
Catcher, number 22, Sean Ferguson.
Sean Ferguson, the catcher for the Sydney Sooners, takes his place in the batter's box. Reeves finds the outside corner for a strike. Chopper to third. McKinley comes up with it cleanly, makes the throw to first. 2 quick ones for the Dartmouth Dry in the bottom half of the second.
Left fielder, number 17, Josh Pentecost.
Playing right field this evening for the Sydney Sooners is Josh Pentecost, number 17. Johnny Cash, as he walks to the dish. Tough not to be feeling good at the plate after listening to that one, but this one's a small, short chopper to first base, or the pitcher, sorry, Reeves. Reeves tosses it to first base for the third out of the bottom half of the second inning. We'll be back with the top of the third in just a minute.
Leading off the center field correction, the catcher, number 11, Matt Dudelay.
Matt Dudelay steps in. Good speed. Also a great contact hitter. He's Dudelay, number 11. Started the year near the bottom of the order, worked his way up. Here he is in the 2-hole. He bloops one to short. Tobin makes a great effort to try and come up with that one, but it just gets out of the outstretched arm, and Duel will land in there for a base hit.
Shortstop, number 5, Chris Thibodeau.
Chris Thibodeau steps in to face Cole O'Connor. O'Connor with 2 clean innings. Duel, if my memory serves me, the only guy in this Dartmouth lineup to hit the outfield grass to this point. Shepard, Duel too quick to second. Made a late decision to go to first, and Thibodeau will be safe with an infield base hit. Two on for the power threat, and Anthony McKinley playing third base.
Number 27, Anthony McKinley.
Lively backstop here in Sydney as umpires and catchers know anything fouled straight back that they got to get out of the way of a heater coming back at them off of that tight fence. Walker O'Connor at second base, keeping Duel close. Duel with a great jump at second. Tobin flips it to second. They go to first to get McKinley for the double play, but McKinley's wheels get him to first base safely. First out of the inning.
Second baseman, number 41, Dan Camo.
Second baseman Dan Camo steps in now with runners on the corners. McKinley with a good lead at first. Cole O'Connor not phased. He fires a strike in there against Dan Camo. McKinley with a half step less than his last lead. This one low. Dan Camo wisely lays off. Time called by Dan Camo as Cole was keeping an eye on McKinley at first base for a half second too long. For Dan Camo's liking. Regroups now. McKinley, another aggressive lead but not going. Don't want to take the bat out of Dan Camo's hand. Duel and Bob Gillis down there at third base having an animated discussion. McKinley driven back by that pickoff move, but Cole sold it as if it was going to be a fastball coming in there at first base, but he held up once he saw McKinley slide in there safely. Threw a changeup to first base. Here's Dan Camo now. This one to second base. Walker comes up with it. Makes the tag towards second. And they turn the double play to get out of this inning with a runner at third base. Sydney Sooners defense helping out Cole O'Connor here early in this ball game. We'll be back with the bottom half just after this.
Hi, I hope you're enjoying this live stream. Would you like to webcast your next event? Want to reach a larger audience, maybe even global? Let 360 Live show the world your story. Send us an email to hello@360.live for more details. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to follow us on these social media sites.
Back to the top of the order for the Sydney Sooners. Mike Tobin stepping in, the shortstop. Not sure who Mike's favorite character on Saved by the Bell was, but he's got a killer walk-up song. Heater up. Gets Tobin swinging. Bad weather predicted for this Friday night all week until about 10 o'clock this morning. Things changed, and we've got a sunny night. Humid, but a great night here at the ballpark as Mike Tobin goes down,
Center fielder
looking
27,
for the
Jeff
first out of the
Chisholm.
bottom of the third. Texting with Josh Forrest this morning, just double checking that this ball game was a go. Josh working in New Glasgow. He's been having a great year for the Sydney Sooners, playing third base, but hitting the ball often. Scoring runs, RBIs, having a good year at third base is Josh. Jeff Chisholm now the center fielder in to face Jeff Reeves. Reeves up, 2 strikes. This one's straight back into the umpire's arm. He gave a little shout, as anybody would, where that foul tip in the forearm. Played some softball with Michael Vickers, who is behind the plate tonight. Great guy. New dad. A lot going on. All aspects in this Nova Scotia Senior Baseball League. Doodley on the outside, ball pitched towards the inner half. A little bit of a mix-up there. Chisholm lays off. This change up outside. Doodley tried to pull it in a little closer. Vickers not falling for it. They're going to check this as there's a strikeout on the swing of Jeff Chisholm. Fans out in left field.
Second baseman number 37, Walker O'Connor.
Letting the umpire in the field hear it a little bit. Walker O'Connor, the second baseman, Mr. Do-It-All, trying to get things going here as Reeves has had second inning was cleaner than the first, and he's really dealing here in the third as he's got 2 strikeouts to lead this inning off. Doodley sets up inside. The pitch is over the plate. Walker gets a piece, fouls it straight back. And there it is. He strikes out the side. Jeff Reeves, so the Dartmouth Moosehead Dry with a great inning. We'll be back with the top half of the fourth in just a minute. Stepping to the plate now is Ted Camo, the second baseman.
Second baseman. Correction, designated hitter number 34, Ted Camo.
As I throw the in-house announcer Riley off with that Camo mix-up. It's the DH tonight, Ted Camo. Dan's at second base. Ted watches this one go by. Very patient hitter. Waits for his. This one outside. Camo going to step out, regroup, realize that that is the corner of the plate. Be ready to swing at that next time it comes by. Cole O'Connor's got no time for that routine of Ted Camo. As the second Camo sets that second foot in that right-handed hitter's batter's box, the pitch is coming. 2-1 count to Ted Camo. Fastball up. Two and two. Fastball up in the zone. Popped right up. Cole O'Connor calls for it, and that'll be the first out of this top half of the fourth inning.
Left fielder number 33, Matt Harding.
Left fielder Matt Harding now. Just the one hit to the grass was Matt Doodley, I believe. So Cole O'Connor working here in this ball game. Fastball up. Comes right back at him with a strike. O'Connor and Ferguson want to take another crack at the signals. They decide on a change up. Low in the zone, they get the call. And they pound the outside corner. They're getting that call. Why not go there? And they'll get Matt Harding down looking.
Right fielder number 10, Robert Fleming.
In steps number 10, Robert Fleming. Playing right field for the Dry. Fleming watches this one go by for a strike on the outside half. Foul ball. O'Connor up big on the right fielder. 2 strikes. See what's running through Sean Ferguson's mind behind the plate. See where they go to cut Robert Fleming down. Up in the zone. No swing from Fleming. 2-1. 1-2, sorry. This one finds the outside. Michael Vickers calling that all night long, and Fleming goes down. Like the man before him, Matt Harding, looking. We'll be back with the bottom half of the fourth.
Jordan Shepard.
Got to make an apology here. As the third baseman is Jordan Shepard. I've been calling him Jason maybe for a couple games in a row now, but it is Jordan who plays third base tonight. Number 32. Rips one into left field. Going to be a tough play on Harding. This one bounces over his head. Shepard now at second base as Harding fields the ball. He throws it into the infield, overthrows the cutoff man and Chris Thibodeau. But Shepard happy with the double.
First baseman number 29, Justin Brewer.
First baseman Justin Brewer gets his signs from Rico McEachran down there at third base. Jack Fader at first base. He comes in expecting a bunt to move Shepard over. There it is. He squares around, drops it down. Reeves picks it up. He overthrows first base, and Brewer now will make it to second, and Jordan Shepard is going to score. On the error by the pitcher. 2-0 now for the Sydney Sooners here in the bottom of the fourth. Brewer at second base, and Andrew Brewer steps in to move him along. Reeves with a heater. On the low side if you're a Sooners fan, but just right if you're Jeff Reeves and Duel, and it goes the Dartmouth way for a strike. This fastball just inside. 1-1. Reeves picked the ball up cleanly, but it's tough to make an adjustment and throw soft towards a bag when you're pitching. And he went with the soft throw, and it got away from him. Fastball foul tipped. Dule comes up with that one, and that'll
Designated hitter number 45.
rack Andrew Brewer up with a strikeout. Designated hitter Danny McKillop in now. Struck out his last at bat. Fastball up and away. Ball one. Dudley sets up outside. Dartmouth bench curious where that one missed after their last two hitters went down looking at those outside pitches for strikes. Dudley sets up outside again. This one a little more over the plate. Grounder to second base. Dan Camo makes the throw to first for the second out. Justin Brewer will make it to third safely after reaching on an error.
Catcher number 22, Sean Ferguson.
Sean Ferguson catching this ball game for the Sooners. Steps in to face Reeves. Reeves with a curveball. Nice bend on that one. Started over the heart of the plate and finished on the black for a strike. Dudley does a great job of keeping that one in front of him. Pass ball may not score Justin Brewer as the backstop is close, but this is going to score Justin Brewer. Hard shot out of the reach of the diving Chris Thibodeau at short, and it's a 3-0 ball game for the Sydney Sooners.
Fielder number 17, Josh Pennycost.
The right fielder, Josh Pentecost. 2 out. Runner on first base is Sean Ferguson. Ripped a grounder up the middle to get an RBI. Pentecost pushes this one towards second base. Dan Camo comes up with a sidearm throw to first base for the 3rd out. In the bottom of the 4th, Sydney Sooners have 2 runners cross the plate, and they take a 3-0 lead over the Dartmouth Dry after 4. We'll be back with the top of the 5th in just a moment. First baseman, Jack Fader.
Leading off the first
In to
baseman,
face Cole O'Connor.
Jack Fader.
O'Connor pitching a strong ball game through 4. Hard shot towards third off the glove of Shepard. Tobin can't come up with that. And Jack Fader will lead this top of the 5th off
Center fielder number
with a
4,
base hit.
Chris Head.
Top of the order now. Chris Head, center fielder for the Dartmouth Dry. Not a hard shot by Jack Fader down third base, but in an awkward spot between third and short. Shepard dove, knocked it down, but unable to squeeze the mitt and keep it in. Here's a hard shot from Chris Head. The best piece of contact against Cole O'Connor all day, but Jeff Chisholm there in center field to catch that line drive for the first out in the top of the 5th. Catcher, Matt Dudelay. Reach base with a bloop single over Mike Tobin's outstretched glove. Fader at first base. Dudelay drops down a nice drag bunt. Cole O'Connor there picks it up with his glove, makes a tough play to first base for the 2nd out. Dudelay moves Jack Fader to second base
Shortstop number
with 2 outs
Chris Thibodeau.
in the top half of the 5th. Number 5, Chris Thibodeau. gets set in the right-handed batter's box. Fader, a young guy in this league, at second base. Unsure pickoff move, stays close to second base. Sean Ferguson set up on the outer half, but that ball drilled down the middle. Cole O'Connor taps his chest a couple times, lets Ferguson know I missed that spot. But the mistake pitch doesn't bite him as Thibodeau watches it go by. Thibodeau calls time, steps out. Ready to swing at that one if he sees it again. Fastball, outer half, they find it for a strike. Great pitch, Ferguson and O'Connor absolutely working the outside of the plate. Ferguson doesn't leave his spot behind the plate. He moves the glove where Duel moves the body. Oh, there, of course, when I say that, Ferguson makes a move to the outer half, and they get the call for strike three looking. And O'Connor through 5. We'll be back with the bottom half. We'll see how Jeff Reeves can answer that pitching performance.
Leading off, the shortstop, number 2, Mike Tobin.
Leading off the bottom half of the 5th is Mike Tobin. AC Slater fouls one back. Duel tries to make a jumping catch off the backstop, but no luck. Down and away for ball, 1-1. Jeff Reeves gets the strikeout. Tobin walks back to his dugout. He knew that was a strike. Out of Reeves' hand, but couldn't get that bat to swing for him.
Number 27,
Been there.
Chisholm.
So Reeves, after getting bumped up in the first and even in the bottom half of the 4th, starts off the 5th with a strikeout looking. This one outside. First pitch to Jeff Chisholm, the center fielder. Fastball outside. 2 balls to Chisholm. Chisholm a coach in minor baseball in Truro, Nova Scotia. Played his ball for Truro for the last number of years, but with no team in the hub, he's playing with the number 1 team in the league, the Sydney Sooners, this year. He bunts one that was inside. Fouls it straight back. Let's see if the Dartmouth try to find that outside spot that's been getting called. Foul ball down the left field line from Chisholm. He's not going to go down looking at that outside pitch. Outside again. This ball's going to find a gap. Chris Head runs a mile to try and make this one close. Dives on the warning track but can't come up with it. And Chisholm with the warning track double puts him in scoring position for Walker O'Connor.
Second baseman, number 32, Walker O'Connor.
Great piece of hitting there from Jeff Chisholm. Took that outside pitch to the left and center field gap. This one straight up to Robert Fleming. Fleming catches it with a cannon. Keeps Chisholm at second base. Great arm by Fleming. A one-hopper to McKinley playing third base. And that's 2 down here in the bottom half of the 5th. Jordan Shepard, the third baseman. Shepard, the kind of guy who will remember that ball bounding off his glove in the last half inning. He's going to want to make up for it here. Loads up, watches this one low and away for a ball. Reeves and Dudelay decide on a sign outside. Off-speed pitch. Dudelay holding that for Vickers to double check, but Vickers confident in his ball call. Here comes Coach Bob Gillis out of the dugout as Dudelay chats it up with Shepard. Unsure what this meeting would be about other than to let Reeves know Gillis thought it was a strike. Center field fans letting Gillis and the Dartmouth Dry know that they saw a strike from the center field. How couldn't they? Lively atmosphere here in Sydney. It's a lot of fun. 2 out, Chisholm at second. After that warning track double. Shepard watches this one, walks to first base.
First baseman, number 29, Justin Brewer.
Shepard at first, Chisholm at second, and Justin Brewer in the same situation he was in, but 2 more outs than last time. He dropped down a bunt, and the error from Reeves had a runner score for the Sydney Sooners. Fastball outside half. Doodle set up on the inside. Crossed up, but a dry fan to be happy with that call. Inside. Brewers got some questions about that strike. Reeves turns to second base. Keep Chisholm close. Curveball. Brewer pulls it down third base. Foul ball. McKinley didn't come up with it cleanly. Good pace of this ball game before a little bit of a stutter step here in the 5th. Reeves deals. Ball outside. Runners on first and second. Justin Brewer at the plate. 2 strikes on him. Foul ball. Matt Doodle unable to squeeze that one. May have bounced before it reached his glove. Foul tip. Squeeze this time. Doodle gets the strikeout on Brewer. Brewer not happy with that inside pitch a couple pitches ago. But we'll be back with the top half of the 6th after this.
Hi, I hope you're enjoying this live stream. Would you like to webcast your next event? Want to reach a larger audience, maybe even global? Let 360 Live show the world your story. Send us an email to hello@360.live for more details. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to follow us on these social media sites.
Stepping in now was the third baseman, Anthony McKinley. Swing from McKinley. 2 strikes. Off-speed pitch up in the zone. McKinley lays off of that one. 2-1. Two and two. I was wrong saying McKinley had 2 strikes on him. First pitch was down and away. But I was right when I said 2-1. Here it is, 2-2. Fastball outside. McKinley not happy with that pitch. It's been getting called all night long. He points, which is a dangerous move, and there it goes. Vickers tosses McKinley after
Second baseman number 41.
upstaging the umpire. Doesn't go over well most times. And that's 1 out. And the Dry will need a new third baseman. Dan Camo chops this one into center field. Bloop single.
Designated hitter number 34, Ted Camo.
You don't want to point to where you saw that one cross. I was a victim of that one. I learned in the Metro Intermediate Baseball League. Blair Gallant tossed me. So I knew what was coming when Anthony pointed to the outer half. And Michael Vickers tossed him from this ball game. Dan Camo, though, follows that up with a bloop single, and Ted Camo looking to move his brother Dan to second base. Coach Bob Gillis has a meeting with Camo. I'm sure he let him know that if you think it's outside, you got to swing and slash one the other way because it's getting called. Hard shot. Looks to be a gapper. Chisholm turns his back now. This is going to be a warning track shot. Dan Camo, not great speed. He's rounding third base. He's going to be held up. That's tough for anybody. I can't be picking on Dan's speed. First to home. Jose Reyes could do it.
Left fielder number 33, Matt Harding.
So there'll be runners on second and third for Matt Harding as the Dartmouth Dry try to rally after McKinley led off the inning with a strikeout looking and was tossed. Wasn't really a break in the ball game, a kind of insignificant moment as McKinley got tossed, so they keep the wheel spinning here in Sydney. As Harding swings at a high fastball and fouls it straight back. Cole O'Connor has been in a couple jams with runners on third to this point in the ball game, but his defense has bailed him out. Tobin throwing a strike home to cut Chris Head down in the top of the first was a good example of that. Fastball outside. Camo not happy, but called strike. Harding, sorry, not Camo. As both Camos are on the bags right now, second and third. They set up outside. Ball. There it is. They found it. Strike three looking. Harding goes down for the second out.
Right fielder number 10, Robert Fleming.
The right fielder, Robert Fleming, Looking to put a dent in this 3-0 lead the Sydney Sooners have with one swing of the bat. Sean Ferguson sets up outside. This one closer to the middle than the questionable calls. Clearly a strike. Breaking ball now gets Robert Fleming swinging. 2 strikes on him. See if they go outside here. O'Connor steps off to get a new signal from Ferguson. There's that shuffle to the outside. Ball. Fastball up, gets a swing. After the Camos get hits. 2 more strikeouts for O'Connor. He's pitching an absolute gem here. We'll be back with the bottom half of the 6th.
Leading off, number 19, Andrew Brewer.
Andrew Brewer leading off this bottom of the 6th. Strikeout to start off the bottom of the 6th. Just doing a little research to see who's over at 3-bag for Dartmouth after McKinley got tossed.
Hitter number 45, Danny McKillop.
Tough to make out the lineup, but I believe it's Marc Marquois playing third base for the Dartmouth Dry. Danny McKillop, the designated hitter. Little chatter between Reeves and home plate umpire now. Fastball inside. Danny McKillop fouls it straight back. 1 out in the 6th inning. Outside for a ball. Fastball outside. McKillop swings. The Dry trying to find that outside strike. This one too far outside. Ball 3. Full count. To the designated hitter, Danny McKillop. McKillop fouls this one straight back. Right on it is McKillop. Reeves wants a new baseball. Outside strike. McKillop throws his bat and walks to first, but he's cut down on the outside strike. For 2 outs.
Catcher number 22, Sean Ferguson.
Catcher number 22, Sean Ferguson. Stutter steps, shows a bunt to draw Mark Marquois in at third base. Marquois not on the roster online, so he must be a call-up from junior. Reeves gets a strike call. Duel sets up outside. Slow chopper to second. Thibodeau's going to have to use his arm. Throw across the diamond. Hard throw gets him at first base. And that'll do it for the bottom of the 6th inning. We'll be back with the top half of the 7th just after this.
First baseman number 22, Jack Fader.
First baseman, Jack Fader, in to face Cole O'Connor. O'Connor dealing. Frustrating these Dartmouth Dry hitters, pounding the outside zone. Top of the 7th. Fader squares one up. Hard shot through the middle of the field. He's in there safely with a base hit, easily.
Center fielder number 4, Chris Head.
So 2 at-bats in a row for Jack Fader. He led off innings and got on for the leadoff hitter of Chris Head. Dartmouth getting runners to third, but unable to cash people into this point in the ball game as it's a 3-0 score for the Sydney Sooners. Only the second hard hit, really, for a Dartmouth dry hitter this evening. That screamer from Fader up the middle. Sydney native Chris Head puts a hard roller to second. Tobin comes up with an absolute beauty of a diving play. Keep that on the infield and get Jack Fader at second base.
Correction, catcher, number 11, Matt Dudelay.
For the first out of the top half of the 7th inning. Great play by Tobin. Covered about 20 feet before laying out and smoothly robbing that one on a hop. Throw over to first. Chris Head in there safe. Had a speed threat. Head running, pitch out right on the money by Ferguson. They get Head for the second out of the 7th inning. Dudelay now with a different approach. Hard swing for a strike. This one a grounder to second base. Walker O'Connor scoops it up and throws it over to first for a quick top 7. We'll be back with the bottom half in just a minute. Stepping in to lead off the bottom of the 7th is the right fielder, Josh Pentecost.
Right fielder, number 17, Josh Pentecost.
Jeff Reeves gets a swinging strike. Lead off the bottom of the 7th. Two strikes now on the number 9 hitter, Pentecost. Dudelay sets up outside. Pitch over the middle. 3 pitches, 3 strikes. And Pentecost goes to take his seat on the bench with a K.
Shortstop, number 2, Mike Tobin.
Mike Tobin. Heck of a game defensively. Steps in now. Face Reeves. Strike on the other half. Hard shot down the first base line, but just foul. Tobin steps out to get a little more grip on the bat. Shot to first base. Fader picks it up himself, runs to the bag for the second out.
Center fielder number 27, Jeff Chisholm.
Jeff Chisholm now, center fielder. Took an outside pitch to the warning track between left and center field in his last at-bat with a double. Sooners couldn't cash him, but we'll see how Chisholm approaches this at-bat with 2 outs. Does he go for the fence or is he looking to get to first base? Outside. Both of these teams will be in Miramichi in just a couple of weeks at Nationals. Vickers rings Chisholm up a strike too early. There's a strike 3 call on the other half. 2 end the bottom of the 7th. We'll be back with the top 8 in just a minute. Number 5, Chris Thibodeau,
Leading off, the shortstop, number 5.
takes his
Chris
place
Thibodeau.
in the batter's box. Cole O'Connor threw 7 strong. See if he can keep it going here in the top 8. Fastball outside. Ball 1. Foul back. Off the backstop. Ferguson puts in a great effort to try and track that one down. Him and Doodle in a bit of a competition for backstop outs. Fastball outside. 4 strike. Consistency. O'Connor steps off. Review another set of signs from Ferguson. Deals. Fastball up and away for a ball. 2-2 to Chris Thibodeau, the power threat. Great work outside to inside with that fastball. Thibodeau unable to get the hands completely to the baseball. Fouls it off. Fastball outside for a ball. Full count. See if they go back out there. Nope. Ferguson stays behind home plate. This ball ripped down the left field line. Lands fair. It's going to go off the wall. Thibodeau rounding first. Going to slow up near second as Andrew Brewer brings that one into short. Mike Tobin, the cutoff man. And a double ripped to left field from Chris Thibodeau. The third well-hit ball in this ball game for the Dartmouth Dry. Mark Marquois, number 16, playing third base after Anthony McKinley was tossed for pointing at an outside strike. Fastball down and away. Ferguson keeps it in front of him to keep Thibodeau at second. Marquois, the call-up. And a big at-bat here for the Dartmouth Dry. Running out of innings are the Dry to make up that 3-run deficit. Cole O'Connor proving hard to hit. Outside pitch, ball.
If there's a Mary McKenzie here, could she please come to the canteen?
Marquois. O'Connor delivers. Great jump by Thibodeau. He steals third base. 90 feet closer to home plate. Marquois looking to put the bat on the ball now. Ferguson sets up outside. Marquois got to slash it. Fastball up. Strike 3. Cole O'Connor rings another one up. One down here in the top of the 8th. Chris Thibodeau over at third base.
Second baseman number 41, Dan Camo.
Dan Camo playing second base tonight. Reach base his last at bat. Cole, fastball to the outside. Ball. Dan slashes this one the other way. Going to be a tough play to get Thibodeau at home. The relay stops at second base as Walker holds on to it. Shepard stays at third base. They're going to see if Thibodeau left early. He did not. 3-1 ball game.
Designated hitter number 34, Ted Camo.
Dan Camo doing the job. Cashing in Chris Thibodeau. Ted Camo, the DH. Steps in to face Cole O'Connor. O'Connor takes a breather. Deals. Curveball inside. First strike. Camo stays in. Strike two on Camo as Camo stays in the box. And O'Connor goes for a walk. Camo, usually the guy that goes for a walk, but O'Connor willing to have Ted wait. Ted rips one to third. Jordan Shepard blocks that one. Hard throw across the diamond gets Camo. And another clean inning for Cole O'Connor. He's got one to go. Not a clean inning as Dartmouth scored one. Thibodeau, the hard shot down left field, but that's my mistake. We'll be back with the bottom half of the eighth here in Sydney. Just a minute.
Second baseman number 37, Walker O'Connor.
Leading off the bottom of the eighth is the second baseman, number 37, Walker O'Connor. Jeff Reeves still throwing fireballs here for the Dartmouth Dry. Hard shot up the middle. Tough play for Dan Camo. Big stretch at first base by Jack Fader, but the wheels of Walker O'Connor get him a base hit.
Third baseman number 32, Jordan Shepard.
Tough play there. As the ball back-checked and slowed down as Camo backhanded that one. He really had to fire that to first base, but the off-balance throw late as Walker O'Connor with good wheels makes it to first base. Jordan Shepard having a unusually quiet night at the dish for him. Strike call. Change up outer half, strike 2. O'Connor, conservative lead over there at first. Reeves steps off to check him. But 1 step lead again. Foul tip. Fastball, up and away for a ball. Believe that was Cole O'Connor who just ran down to first base to coach. I'm sure he'll be swinging that arm even if it's close, trying to get another insurance run for the Sydney Sooners as the 9th inning approaches. Jordan Shepard, just a violent hack. This guy can swing. Short to the baseball. He can drive it. There it is. But he doesn't come up with contact. Strike 3 for the first out of the bottom half of the 8th inning.
First baseman number 29, Justin Brewer.
First baseman now, Justin Brewer. Steps in with Walker O'Connor at first base. Jeff Reeves steps off to keep an eye on O'Connor. Reeves and Dudelay work on a new sign. Fastball inside for a swing and strike. O'Connor gone, late jump. Dudelay with a strike. Thibodeau can't come up with the ball at second base. And O'Connor safe at second. O'Connor with great speed. It would have been close, but I think he would agree that wasn't the jump he was looking for on Reeves' first move. Dudelay sets up outside. Brewer fouls that off down the right field line. Reeves gets the sign. Goes home. Two-seamer up. Fastball outside. 2 outside. Ball. Fastball over the middle and 2 outs.
Number 19, Andrew Brewer.
Andrew Brewer steps in now with a runner at second base. 2 outs. Looking to square something up. ball to start this at bat. Swing and a miss, 1-1. Outside, inside, outside. Both pitches on the outside go for balls. See if they keep that pattern going and try and put one on the hands of Andrew Brewer here. Duel set up outside. Fastball foul tipped. 2 strikes, 2-2. Down and away gets Brewer swinging. We'll be back with the top of the 9th in just a minute.
Hi, I hope you're enjoying this live stream. Would you like to webcast your next event? Want to reach a larger audience, maybe even global? Let 360 Live show the world your story. Send us an email to hello@360.live for more details. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to follow us on these social media sites.
I thought it was strange to send Cole O'Connor to coach first base if he was going to pitch in the 9th. And it's his brother Walker O'Connor
The left fielder, number 33,
coming in to
Matt
close this
Harding.
ball game for the Sydney Sooners. He will face Matt Harding, the left fielder of the Dartmouth Dry, to lead off the top of the 9th. First pitch is popped up to center field, shallow center field, but great wheels out there. Newly entered into the ball game, Chris Farrow playing center. Covered a mile of grass before he got under that one. What a play. 1 pitch, 1 out for Walker O'Connor.
And Robert Fleming.
Number 10, the right fielder, Robert Fleming. To the dish now to face Walker O'Connor. Second pitch of the innings fouled back. Fleming swings and misses. 2 strikes on Fleming. Fleming has some power in that bat, but it's going to take more than 1 run to make a difference in this ball game late. Fastball in the outer half gets Fleming swinging for the second out. The imports proving a tough task in this league as Walker and Cole can do it all. Fastball outer half to Jack Fader. Fader, one of the few hard hit balls, he roped one to right. Fastball outside. Called for a strike. Outer half. 2 strikes on Fader now. The last chance for the dry. He fouls one back, stuck in the cage. Ferguson with a flinch as he knew that one might be coming straight back at him. Has a couple laughs with the fans behind home plate. That one got stuck in the fence. Two strikes on Fader. Fader gets a piece of this. Going to be a tough play. Chopper to Ferguson. And an odd spin sends this one into foul territory. Keeps Fader alive. Fader and O'Connor battle again. This one, foul down the third base line this time. Ferguson relays his idea on the next pitch to O'Connor while he has the opportunity. Fader getting tired of running down first base. Both hits started off in fair territory. And with the spin on the ball, have reached foul territory by the time he reaches first base. 2 strikes on Jack Fader. Fastball inside. Fader turns away from that one for ball. Full swing. Ball's in front of Ferguson. He bounces it to first base. Brewer scoops it for the ball game, folks. 3-1 win for the Sydney Sooners on a Friday night here in August. They maintain first place with a great ball game pitched by Cole O'Connor and closed by Walker O'Connor. The next ball game here on 360 Live will be on Tuesday night as Kentville visits Halifax. It's been a great night of baseball. I'm Neil Gordon. Thank you so much for watching. We'll be back on Tuesday. Hope to see you then.